So in this video I have a warning for you regarding car hire or car rental over here in Mallorca for this summer. We're also going to talk very briefly as well about the anti-tourism saturation protests taking place next weekend. Plus I have a weather forecast for you for the week ahead. But we're going to start this video talking about how you could quite possibly end up paying a lot more than you had planned for by renting a car or hiring a car this summer. And I've heard from several viewers as well, whether it's been on email, over on the Facebook group, or in comments on the YouTube channel as well, about their experiences in renting a car. And we're going to hear from a holidaymaker in just a second as well, when I was out and about on the island, who wanted to talk to me about this issue. Now, the first thing I'm going to say, particularly if you do not watch the rest of this video, but you are renting a car this summer, before we even talk about picking up the car or anything like that, I'm going to say, and this is so important, check your car before you drive away from the airport or from your car rental location. Check the car for scratches, for dings, for scratches on the hubcaps, for scratches on the wheel arch, for any kind of damage. Make sure that damage is noted on the car rental agreement form, on any documentation. Make sure it's been signed off by the company as well. Take a really slow video of the entire car going around all the bodywork too. Also take photographs as well as evidence of any damage that has already been caused to the car as well. Also get inside the car as well and take a video and take some pictures of the windscreen as well, and make sure there's no like hairline cracks on the windscreen, which could actually lead to the windscreen shattering during your journey too. Because without this evidence, you could be liable for actually paying for these scratches or damage that you didn't actually cause. And we have actually had posts in the Mallorca Under the Sun, a Facebook group, all about this as well, about holidaymakers who have been over and have been accused of causing damage to the cars that they didn't actually do. And it took weeks after their holiday here to sort that out. So just make sure you check that out. That's the most important piece of advice I can give you before we continue on with the rest of this video. Even to the point as well, even if the car hire companies say, even if you do point out some damage and they say, oh, that scratch, no, don't worry about that, that's nothing. Doesn't matter, get it documented, get it written down, take a photograph of it and make sure it's actually noted and signed off on the documentation, because that is just super important. I've heard of too many tales of holidaymakers over at the airport picking up cars, showing scratches, being told it doesn't matter, and then being charged for it later on down the line when they've gone back to their home country. So that's my main warning for you today. Okay, my next piece of advice, again, this is super important as well. Check out how you're going to pay for the car as well. Check out the terms, how they can accept payment, whether it's going to be by credit card. I know most car rental companies don't take debit cards, but check out which kind of credit card they're going to take, because, well, I spoke to a viewer, and you're going to see this interview now, about his experience of picking up a hire car over here at the airport as well, and this is what he went through.
So, we were going to get the package transfer like probably most people do, but we thought, do you know what, we'll get a hire car, we'll pick it up at the airport, we'll bring it over here, and the money we save on the hire car, save on the coach will go towards the hire car. Great plan. Turn up at the airport, it's quite a late flight, it's been delayed, you get off, you go around to the check-in desk to pick up your hire car, already prepaid some insurance as well. Give them all the details and things, and then they say, oh, you can't use an American Express credit card. You can only use a Visa or a MasterCard, which I don't have. I've only got those as debit cards. They said, it's okay, it's all right. Well, my partner, she's got a different Visa credit card. We'll go and use that. So come over. Yeah, well, it's a different name. So what we can do is we can add her to the insurance, but we'll do that for free. No problem. All right, let's do all of that. Check out, give her the card, and suddenly we'll have a look at, because it tells you on the phone, like when the transaction's been taken, £450 taken from a phone. What's £450 being taken from the phone? Well, you didn't have a credit card in your own name, so this was the solution. No, the solution was not to bill me £450. You can go and take whatever security deposit that you want off another card you can find. Because I complained, I was treated very rudely. I was told to get back in the queue and wait another 20 minutes before I get seen. So eventually get back to the front, go and speak to the woman. We then sorted out with another credit card that I've got. That one goes on, all right, fine. It's €1,400 deposit, but I already have an insurance for my deposit, so it's all good. Okay, fine. Get that put through, and then we're all sorted now. I've only put my pin in for the €1,400. Okay, €1,400. Get in the car. It's late. All the rest of it. She also says you don't need to check the car. The car's brand new. There's no scratches on it whatsoever. Okay, fine. Car park is the car is in a multi-storey car park over the road. You could go over the road, take your bags, all the rest of it. It's quite late now. We get on for about 11:30 at night. Look at the car. Sure enough, yeah, there's a scratch on the boot round the back, sort of thing. You go and speak to the guy. You find somebody in the multi-storey car park. He says, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't know." Taking a picture of it, taking a picture of my contract as well at the same time. Get in the car. Okay, the car's quite nice and everything, all right, and we get off. So we don't actually arrive here till well after midnight. It's quite late, and you have to find the parking and stuff. Get into bed, look at my phone. What's been taken from my phone? More than the £1,400 that I only entered in with my PIN, or €1,400. I've had 3 lots of €1,400 taken, plus another €197 and another €250 something euros, none of which is explained as to the reasons why. Right? So, and also, I've still had a refund from the other card that my partner gave them as well, which was another €400. So somehow, I'm down an awful lot of money, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get it back. So the whole experience has been horrendous. I'm never going to use them again.
So what have they said? Have you complained to them? What have they said?
They said, wait until you get the final invoice and then we'll sort it all out. I've decided I'm not going to let it ruin my holiday. I'm just going to have a good time. We'll sort it out. It's all on credit cards. Sort it out, and I'm not sort of man to be pushed around, or you know, we'll figure it out.
So basically, you've got to sit through your holiday wondering if you'll get your money back. Absolutely. And all I did was pick up a prepaid hire car. I'm not even paying them for the hire. So yeah, maybe the problem lies with them. I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's it's not ideal, is it? It's not ideal.
Enjoy your holiday.
Okay, thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you.
Now, as you can see, following his interview, he showed me the transactions that were made on his bank account as well. You can see them here. If you're using your credit card to secure payment for your car, or as a deposit as well against your car, you've of course got to make sure you've got that kind of money in your bank account. If, like this holiday maker as well, he had so many charges then made to his card as well, this could actually affect if you're going then on to pay for meals in restaurants, you're going to pay for tickets and tours, you're going to go and pay for anything else on the island as well. You may actually get your card declined if you've got these kind of like spurious charges made by the car hire company, plus all the hassle too of having to get these cancelled too. But you can see the amount of charges that were made, and if this is day one of your holiday, you don't want to be sitting on edge just worried and wondering whether you're going to get your money back as well. So make sure every time you swipe your cards, see if you can check what's actually been charged for before you leave the car hire hall. Make sure that only the deposit for the car, that charge is the only charge that's been made against your card. Otherwise, like I said, you could run into problems during the duration of your stay. Now, my next piece of advice isn't so much about the car hire company or the car hire process as it is with the airport as well, and making sure that when you actually do book your flight that you do also inform the car hire company of your arrival time as well, because if they don't have details of your flight time or your airline number as well that you're coming in on, they don't know if you're going to be late. You do not want to get to that car hire hall and they've given your car away and then they say, sorry, we've had to give your car away, you're going to have to now upgrade to a better model, and that's then going to cost you more money. Or they're just going to say, I'm sorry, but I don't think we can rent you because you didn't let us know that you're going to be late. So at time of booking your flight, at time of booking your car hire, make sure you pass over all your details of your flight number and your approximate arrival time to the car hire hall as well, so they can then track that flight and they can't give that as an excuse to try and charge you more for your car hire in the future. Also as well, we've had posts, I've been asked in the past as well as to what time individual car hire companies actually close at the airport. My advice for you is Google it, find out when these car hire halls close. Most of them are seen close at about 11 p.m, which means that if you are coming in on a late flight, You could get to the airport and the car hire company will be closed, which will mean that if you're going to the other part of the island, you're then going to have to get a taxi over there, or you're going to have to get a bus, depending on what time you get in, if your flight's delayed, and you're going to have to come all the way back to Palma Airport the next day to pick up your hire car. It's going to cost you more money, it's going to be a complete pain, it's going to take time out of your holiday. So if you're getting a night flight, just bear this in mind if you're renting from the airport, and actually consider that you might actually be better off renting your hire car in your resort and getting an alternative means of transport, whether it's the transfer bus or a private transfer or a taxi out to the resort, and renting your car from the resort the very next day. I do not know of any car rental companies that will be hanging around until 2 o'clock in the morning for you to get in to pick up your hire car. So this is probably another really super big piece of information for you to bear in mind before you consider renting over here this summer. Which leads me on to the next most important point, which is insurance. Now, you need to have a full insurance policy over here, because no matter how good a driver you are going to have damage done to your car, quite likely when you're over here. I mean, I've been driving over here for ages, and I had a lovely shiny car when I first picked it up. It's now full of dings, dents and scratches, and almost a day doesn't go by when somebody doesn't ding or dent it, someone smashes their car door into my car. I can barely be bothered anymore to take notice of it. So expect the worst if you're coming over in terms of picking up scratches to your car as well. Make sure you've got a good insurance policy. If you do hire with a car hire company, it's going to be quite an expensive one, but once again, read all the terms and conditions of that particular policy as well. You can also get these annual car rental policies. I have one when I go to the UK. The problem with that is that if I do get any damage, I have to pay for it up front and then claim it back through the insurance company. So make sure as well, just check all the terms and conditions, but don't even think of renting a car over here without having some kind of insurance, and knowing as well that even after you've checked the car over, it's quite likely you're going to take that car back to the airport with a few scratches and dents as well, even if they're not caused by yourself. So just bear that in mind too. But when you are returning to the airport as well, be aware that the traffic's going to be quite horrendous, particularly if you're travelling from the southwest over to Palma Airport in the afternoons as well. It's going to take a lot longer to get there than maybe the 15 minutes that it should take, just due to the sheer number of hire cars on the island at the moment. Quite an irony in that statement as well if you're coming over to hire a car, but build an extra time for your journey. And if you're having to refuel as well before you drop your car off, there is a petrol station in the airport industrial estate as well. I'll drop a link to that in the description text below. It's quite easy to get to as well, but also bear in mind that that petrol station is also going to be very busy with taxi drivers too, I have noticed, and people waiting around there to pick up people from flights. So get there in good time, get refueled, and just get to the airport a little bit earlier for peace of mind. Okay, so finally, if you are hiring a car this summer, just be aware that your hire car is almost going to be an advert that you're here on holiday, because most of the hire cars actually have a big sticker in the back window saying which car hire company that they come from. So take care if you are parking up in a remote location. Do not leave any valuables in sight in the car. Don't drive around with your passports, don't leave anything of value in the car, just on the off chance that you do get broken into. And they have been too. I have heard about this happening on numerous occasions, particularly if you're parking out in the countryside or on a coastal area to go and look at a nice view as well, because these thieves operate absolutely everywhere. Take your stuff with you, don't leave anything in the car is my only advice, but don't worry too much about it. Please don't worry too much about it. And if you are worried from watching this video, well, just take the public buses, use public transport, use taxis. It could work out a lot cheaper and a lot more hassle-free than renting another hire car on the island. I don't mean this video to be negative, but there are some really important points here that if you are renting a car this summer that you do need to be aware of. Okay, so let's move on to another big thing that is happening this week over here on the islands that you need to be made aware of, and that is the anti-tourism saturation protest that is taking place in Palma on Sunday the 21st of July. Now, go ahead and watch my video which I made last week about it. I talk quite a lot about it. I'll leave a link to that in the description text below. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video as well. Read the comments on that video too about how welcome everyone's feeling on the island. But my warning still remains. Maybe don't go into Palma next Sunday night at 7 p.m. if you want to avoid those protests. I don't want anyone really getting caught up in it as well. And the news being landed in the national press, particularly around the world as well. It's going to make the headlines. There's going to be stuff about it. So go and check out that video. But like I said, maybe avoid Palma next Sunday. Just avoid those protests and go and check out some of my previous content and the comments that have come out from that too. Finally, in this video, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the week ahead. Now, I'm very pleased to say we're enjoying a lovely breeze over here in Magaluf this morning. It's blowing across the beach. However, I do have to say that we do have our very first heatwave weather alert for the week ahead, because temperatures are going to be creeping up towards 34 degrees Celsius as we head on through the week. Evenings as well are going to be very, very warm too. They're going to be edging towards the mid 24-25 degrees Celsius at night. Humidity has been very high as well, so it's been very sweaty too. So my advice is, and I do not see any rain on the horizon, if you're on the beach during the day, make sure you take lots of water with you. Stay hydrated, particularly if you are having a few cheeky cocktails and a few beers on the beach as well. Make sure you take that big bottle of water. Take your sunscreen, minimum factor 30, preferably factor 50, especially with kids. Cover up the kids as well. I keep seeing so many sunburnt children out and about. If they're in the sea, reapply that sun cream as well. Super important too, but preferably cover up as well, especially if you're from Northern Europe and you're a bit pale as well. Make sure you wear that extra t-shirt on the beach as well and avoid that painful sunburn too. But also my advice is get off the beach from time to time. Come into these lovely cafes that we have running all the way down the back of the beaches in every single resort. I'm in Caribou Beach. It's absolutely gorgeous here this morning, so totally recommend taking some time off the beach and just enjoying the views and coming in for a nice cool drink too. Okay everyone, I hope you found this video quite helpful. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I'll be back for more news for you coming out of Mallorca next Monday as well. So look out for that video and hit that notifications bell too, so you don't miss that video too. If you're travelling over to Mallorca this week, have a fantastic journey. Let me know of any issues as well you want to maybe bring up on the channel. Drop a comment below and I'll try and do my best to bring that up too. I've also got an email address, alex@mallorcaunderthesun.com, if you've got any wider issues too. And thanks very much for watching everyone. I'll drop these links here on YouTube to this video here and this video for more information too that will be helpful for your holiday. Okay, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.